Shalom, and welcome once again to Elders of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And we're going back into the topic that we been into for the last, I would say, 3 weeks, which is entitled Understanding the Book of Revelation. And last week we did chapters 13 to 16. Now we're going to do chapters 17 through the Spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Chapter 17, 18, 19, and if time permits, 20. So we're going to go right into it.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Yeah, now the judgment of the great whore is talking about America. You know, we speak about the beast, which is NATO. We speak about the EU. We speak about America, that America is a member of the of NATO. And every once in a while you run into people. Like last week, we ran into this old cracker from, I guess, Australia, and the producer might put it up. And basically he got embarrassed because I asked him the question about the beast. I think I had to sign up, and he said that's talking about a religious system. And I said, what about, I said about the whore? He said that's a religious system. I said, what about the beast? That's a religious system. So I asked him, does it go any deeper? He says not. He said, well, we know. And then I basically said, I said, look, I said, what do you mean we? You know? I said, I do know. And when he started to get embarrassed, he didn't want the camera to be put on him. And I made the statement that, well, don't put the camera on him because he doesn't want to get embarrassed. So you devils are proud as hell, and you think you know everything. Like for example, okay, today's date is June 25th, 2011, and last night they had passed into law homosexuals, gays, lesbians can get married in the state of New York. And if you watch the different news programs, they mainly show Edomites that's all happy about it. See, you ain't gonna see too many Jake gonna say too many good things about it. They're gonna kind of take a neutral approach about it because Jake knows in his spirit that it's wicked as hell, man. Now this dude, what's his name? What's his dude? No, not Pataki. This guy Ron Simmons. That's the guy that's related to Russell Simmons. I'm sorry, Russell Simmons. If you go on Google or whatever, and you put in gay marriage passed in New York, you have one site where a bunch of celebrities kind of gave their opinion or their praise about that law, and I noticed it were mostly Edomites. But then I kept scrolling down, and Russell Simmons had something good to say, which he got to be a faggot. He looked like he got AIDS. He looks like he's in the final stages of full-blown AIDS. And then John Legend, you can see he's a flamer, you know, a glorified Vegas lounge singer, you know. Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yeah, that's right. As long as this, and so you got guys out there that want to save Esau. First of all, number one, Esau doesn't want to be saved. Number two, Esau loves being a damn homosexual. Number three, if you into this knowledge, if you're in the know, the spiritual know, you would know that this man's a damn devil. And I can go on and on about this damn devil. Got something else? All right, go ahead.
All right, Revelation.
Read it from the top again.
Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication.
Yeah, the many waters, I believe that if you jump down to the 15th verse, read that.
Verse 15. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yeah, and that's talking about Israel, because we're under this bitch, and these other nations, the Edomites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Elamites, the Ishmaelites, because America is known as the great melting pot. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north.
Yeah, seething pot is a melting pot. So that's talking about spiritually America, the United States. All right, now let's go back to where we left off in Revelation.
All right, so verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed a fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of a fornication.
Her fornication that the nations are taking in is a democracy and her false Christianity and her whole system. Because you got guys talking about the mark of the beast is talking about Christianity. It's not talking about that. That's part of their system. But to actually take that mark, which we went into over and over again, is talking about the very chip or the chip that they're going to use. And they're already pushing it. People already accepted that chip. Older people, some younger people. They started with animals. And they're going to do something. They're going to make something happen. Some emergency is going to come up where they're going to force the people to take that chip. So we're not in the final stages of that mark yet. But it's not Christianity. Christianity is only part of their system. Go ahead, their image.
It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, that woman, like I said, that woman is different from the beast, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, that woman is referring to America. I can't stress that enough. And it says upon her forehead the name of blasphemy. All right, go ahead.
Right, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Now, the word blasphemy is to be against the Most High. And being that they passed that law in New York, because New York is a major place in the United States, in America. So when Andrew Cuomo passed that law, that was a major thing that they did. So this is the 6th state. But you know what? It's going to flow, because you know what's going to happen? They said you can live in another state and come to New York and get married and be recognized as husband and husband or wife and wife in the rest of the states. So really, when New York passed that law, really the whole United States is going to accept that law. Because like I said, you can live in Chicago, come to take a trip to New York, get married in New York, and then go back to Chicago and be honored by the federal system as being husband and husband or wife and wife, which is a sick thing. And they're praising this nonsense. And that shows you that these people are a bunch of devils, a race of damn devils. Go ahead.
The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Yeah, because how did she come into all this gold and silver and royal apparel? Because she went around the world stealing. Give me John 10 and 10. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Now, when you read above that, you're going to find out that the Lord is talking about the wicked scribes and the Pharisees, which was true. But now this scripture applies to this devil right now. Read again.
The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Yeah, because how did this man set up America? This land that you're walking up and down in is the North American Indians' land, which is a tribe of Gad of the nation of Israel. So you stole this land, you killed the people, you went over to the other side of the world, the western part of Africa, where the Israelites, our forefathers set up communities because we escaped the onslaught from the Roman Empire, which are you same people, you Edomites, you devils, and you went over and to escape that oppression and that destruction, and then you came over from the other side of the world, on this side of the world, to get us and bring us into captivity. Give me Deuteronomy 28:47. Actually, 28:49.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Yeah, because that first happened with the Romans, but from the end of the earth is talking about the western side, the western hemisphere, the western side of the earth, which is the Americas. So you came from the west all the way to the other side of the world, which is the Africa, and that's where you gathered us together. You made a deal with other Hamites, Africans, and Arabs, and you purchased us in bulk. Then when you brought us over here to the States, you sold us family by family. Then you separated families. So you devils got a lot to pay for. Go ahead.
It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
And what is their symbol? The eagle. What is the symbol of ancient Rome? The eagle. What is the symbol of America? The eagle. Just like Elder Ariel would say, take out a dollar bill, take out a quarter. Look at a mailbox. You see an eagle on it. That's their symbol. And when they printed money or when they minted coins, they would put an eagle on it. So that they did the same thing that the Roman Empire did. You're gonna put the symbol, your animalistic symbol, on that coin or on that official document, or on your dollar bill, which is a Federal Reserve note. And then on your dollar bill, it says on one part of the seal, it says Anua Coeptus, and then it says on the bottom Novus Ordo Seclorum, which are all Latin terms. And then you have a 13 level pyramid, which is supposed to be the pyramid of Cheops, with the missing capstone and an all-seeing eye on the top of it, floating above the 13 levels of that pyramid. And on the bottom, you have written in Roman numerals 1776, which really represent May 1st of 1776. Go ahead.
It says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. We didn't understand Italian when the Romans took us down more than 2,000 years ago. And when they came over as so-called Americans, we didn't understand the English language. Go ahead.
It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
And that we have plenty of examples of that. There's plenty of examples of how this damn devil don't give a damn about us, man. How they blow away children, blow away old Jake women, push old Jake men out of wheelchairs, beat them down. But you got this ugly, crusty nigger, this black, ugly tar baby named Uncle Ruckus that's trying to save him. That's why nobody follows your ass. Go ahead.
It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Yeah, that's back when we was in Jerusalem, and that's back when the Romans, during the time of Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian, besieged Jerusalem and slaughtered us as a people. Then celebrated it. They built an arch to Titus. Now let's go back to where we left off in Revelation 17.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Yeah, well, one of her abominations is homosexuality and faggotism, homosexuality, being a damn dyke, being a lesbian, weights and measures. Your money system is not based upon true weights and measures. You don't honor the land Sabbath. You don't honor the Sabbath. If somebody is caught in the act of adultery, the law says you're supposed to put them to death. You don't put them to death. That's rampant in this society, man. Go ahead.
It says, this is verse number 5. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Now, when you break that down in the Hebrew, because you read the Hebrew, it's also the Hebrew language has also a numeric value. So when you calculate the numeric value of verse 5, it adds up to 666. So that's that 666 system. Go ahead.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns.
Read that again.
It says, and the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell...
No, go up another verse.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. So now let's go back to history. When Esau took down Gad, long before they brought Jake over here, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you had the so-called Latin tribes over here in the Americas. And you slaughtered those so-called Latin tribes. The tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Naphtali, and so forth and so on, the tribe of Issachar. Let's deal with the United States, where Gad dwelt, and Reuben. You did a lot of wickedness, man, to the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuben, to take this place down. And now you're talking about defending the rights of people in Libya. And that just last night, about maybe 2 a.m. morning, they passed, I don't know if it was a rebroadcast, but I was watching C-SPAN, and they had all these people, because the president had to go before Congress pursuant to the Wars Powers Act. He had 90 days to do it. So the only one that I know of that was against it was this congressperson called Krasinich, and the rest of them, they were all for it. They had this one guy, I think his name is, he's the only Jake Muslim congressperson, and he voted for it. So basically, the Congress is declaring war against Libya. Meeks, another congressperson, Jackson Lee, whatever her name is, she was with it, and the Republicans were damn sure with it. So basically, Congress declared war against the Libyan people. But you know what? I'm really not mad, or I shouldn't get mad, because that's part of prophecy. Because if you easily did that, how easy is it going to be to go into Iran? And basically, when you go into Iran, that's game over. When you pass that law in New York for gays and married, that's game over. That's the beginning of your end. Then these devils, these Edomites, they see all the natural disasters coming against them, and they still continue to be wicked. Go ahead.
It says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai.
So you're going to have to pay that, man. You have to pay for that. Give me, I believe it's Exodus 21:16, and then give me Revelation 13:9 and 10. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
And that's plain and to the point. You brought us over here against our wills to serve slavery, and we're still in your hands to this very day. So what's the punishment for that according to the scriptures? Death. Go ahead.
Revelation 13:9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So what is that basically saying? That we, the saints, were put, it's not a general statement. The saints were put into captivity by a certain nation. So now this nation that put us into captivity, they're going to go into captivity under us. That's why it said, the last part of that verse, verse 10 says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Why did it say that? Because we're going to enslave the saints, which are the Israelites, are going to enslave the Edomites and the other nations, but mainly the Edomites. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 49:12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt drink of it.
Yeah, you're going to drink of it. You're going to accept the punishment from the Most High, because the Most High is going to jam it down your throat. All right, go ahead.
All right, Revelation 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which has 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
Read that again.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition.
Right. The beast is referring to the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago. It's going to be destroyed, because it tells you that in Revelation the 13th chapter, deadly wound being healed, and it's going to come back to life. Then it's going to go into perdition. How is it going to go into perdition? By way of thermonuclear destruction. So the last leg of the beast is really America in the form of a woman that's upon the beast. Because when the woman goes down, the whole beast is going to go down. Matter of fact, get me Daniel, the 7th chapter, and start from the 10th verse.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even until the beast was slain, and his body...
That's that same beast. That's that same beast. So when this beast goes down, what is it talking about? It's talking about America in the form of a woman and it's talking about the beast that the woman sat upon. So that's referring to America, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the EU, which are all European nations. Go ahead.
And his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
Because America's totally going to be destroyed, but Europe, different parts of Europe is going to be destroyed. But Europe's going to be built back up. Go ahead.
As concerning the rest of the beast,
The other nations, the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, and so forth, those are the rest of the beasts. Go ahead.
they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Yeah, the Most High's kingdom. Who's going to dwell in the Most High's kingdom on earth? The Israelites, his chosen. Go ahead.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which
That's the Romans. Go ahead, the ancient Romans.
devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. Even of that
That's America. Go ahead.
even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth, that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
The very part of the very great things was blasphemy. It tells you that in the beginning of Revelation 17 chapter. So now let's go back to Revelation 17.
Verse 8, Revelation 17 and 8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition.
When did the beast ascend out of the bottomless pit? Really during the time of the so-called Renaissance, and we spoke about this before. So that started around when we started going down in the mid 1300s. That was during the time of the pneumonic plague and the bubonic plague, and the Renaissance started in the 1400s, mainly in the mid 1400s. 1453 was a key year, but prior to that, Esau started tearing stuff down and putting up images of himself. That's why they called the rebirth, the Renaissance. So they were tearing down and destroying images of our foreparents and putting up images of themselves. And then they said that they were Christ, they were the angels, they were the children of Israel. That's why you got these so-called Jews walking around today calling themselves Jews, because they brought down the real Jews. All right? You got anything on that?
No, I was just looking because I know, I think if you look at Wikipedia, if you look on Wikipedia under the Renaissance, I believe they give you like a key date when the Renaissance started, like Elder Tar said, around the mid 1300s, going into the 1400s. You know, in the 1500s, by the 1600s, the Renaissance was in full force. You know, so like Elder Tar always says, you know, with the Roman Empire didn't go down overnight. It took time, you know. They certain key strongholds fell, and they started taking over certain other strongholds, and eventually they all fell at one point. So by 325 AD, or a period of almost about 200 some odd years, that's when they finally fell. You know, the same thing with us. When the so-called white man came back into power, we fell, started from the 1300s on up, and by the time the 1500s were here, pretty much they were in full bloom. You know that. Them coming back up out of them chains being taken up off the beast, and them ascending out of the bottomless pit. And then where did America come from? The so-called founding forefathers came from where? From Europe. The bottomless pit is in Europe. So it said that when this country was set up, the scripture said when this country was set up, that was risen up from the bottomless pit, the reason why it was set up was to be destroyed, but go into perdition.
That's right. All right, go ahead.
All right, and it says, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come.
Right, 5 are fallen is talking about the Greeks, Germania Major, Germania Minor. That's 3. The Gauls, which are the French. All right, and there was one more. Española, all right, or Spain, so you can understand. So 5 have fallen, and one is. The one is talking about the Roman Empire itself, because when John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos was scribing this, it was during the stronghold of the Roman Empire. This is when the Roman Empire was still in their power. Go ahead.
It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he comes,
And the other is not yet come is talking about England, and then from England, America came out of England, or so-called Great Britain. Go ahead.
and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th,
That's America. Go ahead.
and is of the 7.
Which came out of America, came out of Europe, because you had the so-called Puritans and so-called Puritans, Pilgrims, and so forth come to the New World. So there were a bunch of Europeans. And when they during the time of the turn of the century, when they allowed these so-called immigrants to come in, basically it was the so-called Jew, the Irish, the Italian, and other Edomite nations. Those were the ones that came in first. All right, go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Read that again.
It says, your mother shall be sore confounded.
Your mother is talking about England, because America came out of England, which is a colony of England, of Great Britain. Go ahead.
She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold,
Yeah, but she that bear you shall be ashamed. So if she's going to be ashamed, that means she's going to attack you. She's going to be one of the horns that's going to attack you. Matter of fact, it's in the same chapter. Matter of fact, let's go right to it and read it.
this is our verse 18. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate.
Great Britain or England is one of those horns. So all these European allies, whether it be NATO or the EU, they're going to all turn against you. You're going to do something. You're going to do something stupid, and it's going to cause all those European nations, your so-called allies, they're going to turn against you, and they're going to shoot fire. Because we keep saying the Russians is going to destroy you. It's not just the Russian. It's your allies that's going to destroy you as well. So the Lord, when the Lord comes back with the angels, they're going to be destroying you with those lasers from those ships. And Russia's going to be shooting missiles on you. Most likely China is going to be shooting missiles on you. And certain other dark nations are going to be shooting missiles on you. And the NATO nations, they're going to be shooting missiles on you. And England or Great Britain, that's going to be one nation that's going to be shooting missiles on you. And it's going to have something to do with America and Israel. Go ahead.
It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
And that fire is those ICBM missiles, the missiles that they possess. So that's how you're going to, we keep pushing that Russia's going to do it. It's not just Russia. There's going to be a assembly of nations. The assembly of nations is not just a form of Russian republics coming back together. It's talking about England or Great Britain, Germany, France, Greece. Go ahead.
Back in Jeremiah 50 and 12, it says, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
The hindermost of the nations is America. It's going to be a wilderness, a dry land, a desert. Go ahead.
Back in Revelation 17 and 9, and here, and 10. 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
Yeah, now look up the word perdition. That's Revelation 17 and 11. It said he is the 8th, which is America, which is that whore, and is of the 7, which is the original beast, those groups of European nations, and shall go into perdition. Let's look it up.
Yeah, the Greek word for perdition.
Strong's G 684. Apoleia. Apoleia.
Which means destroying, utter destruction of vessels, perishing, ruin, destruction of money, the destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell. Which they went off. Perdition, destruction. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because the place that's going to be totally destroyed is America. All right, go ahead.
All right, that says back in Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
That represents the EU, which now is was it 27 nations. Now, when you check these nations and you go back to their origins, a lot of them link up to one of the 10, the originals, because you have republics that cut up and break up into other republics. So you have to go back to the origins of that nation or that republic or that system, because there's really only 10 of them. All right, go ahead.
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
That woman is, like I said, America. Now we're going to 18, right? Go ahead.
Revelation 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having power, and the earth was lightened with his glory.
So now, so you can understand, this is John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, the island of Patmos, seeing these visions and writing them down. So he saw how the United States was destroyed, or America was destroyed, all right, by these other horns, the 10 horns and so forth, which is, like I said, NATO and the EU. So now the movie continues. So America's already destroyed, so he's writing down the after effect of America being destroyed, of Babylon being destroyed. Go ahead.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
Because it finally fell. Because it said it was going to go into perdition, right? So it finally fell. So an angel proclaimed that Babylon is destroyed. All right, go ahead.
Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit. And
these devils are not talking about Edomites, because America was already destroyed. Babylon was already destroyed. So the devils are talking about spirits. You're going to have spirits, because you have spirits everywhere. You're going to have spirits in America, in the desert. You have people that take journeys in the desert, and they might be by themselves, and they'll hear voices in the air. Well, guess what? Those are spirits that they're listening to. Go ahead.
It says, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Those are those desert creatures, which are vultures and different type of scavenger type flying creatures. Go ahead.
It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Right now, he's going back, reflecting back to right before America is destroyed. When it said, come out of her, my people, that's talking about when the ships come, there's going to be a cry heard, and the people are talking about the elect. It's not talking about all Israel, because 2/3 of Israel, they're going to die right along with Esau and the other nations. So that's a call for them to be beamed up into these ships, the chariots of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
And her sins have reached unto heaven is talking about what? Going out to outer space, partially, and all the wickedness they committed. Go ahead.
They have debris and different stuff flying out there in space. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Yeah, that's that pride. I sit a queen. Give me Isaiah 47. I'll start from the top. The whole chapter is good. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Right, that's talking about the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Go ahead.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Yeah, so this was a big thing that happened last night with this passing that gay rights law. Thy shame is being seen. Go ahead.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Giving them into thy hand is talking about what? In the form of slavery. Didn't we read earlier, Exodus 21:16? If they be found in your hand. So how do we know that we're in your hand? Number one, we know it because we experience it. And the Most High said he's going to put us into your hand. So what did the Most High do? He set you up. He set you up for the kill. Go ahead.
It says, thou didst show them no mercy.
And I can attest to that. You didn't show us no mercy in hardcore slavery. You had us shackled up. You beat us. Put yokes of iron around our neck. You hung us. There was a time after slavery where you lynched us. We caught more hell after slavery than in slavery, man. So you think you devils are not going to pay for it? And then you get mad because we call you a bunch of devils. Go ahead.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Neither.
Right, just like now, when you pass, when Andrew Homo passed that, signed that into law, you didn't think about that. You wasn't thinking on the scriptures. And it's in the scriptures. It tells you that in Peter's. If you know what it is, give me that real quick. I believe it's 2 Peter's, the 2nd chapter, and sample. All right, go ahead.
2 Peter chapter 2 verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly.
Now look that up in the blue letter. 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, in the 6th verse. Look up the word ensample. In other words, that situation in Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed, why was it destroyed? Because they were into bestiality, they were into homosexuality, they were into lesbianism, they were into being freaks, sodomy. That's why, well, the word sodomy comes from that very city, Sodom. All right, go ahead.
Okay, the Greek word for ensample.
Strong's G 5262. Upadagma. Upadagma.
Which means a sign suggestive of anything, delineation of a thing, representation, figure, copy, and an example for imitation of the thing to be imitated, for a warning of a thing to be shunned. I'll read that last one again. It says, for a warning or a thing to be shunned. At the top, it says a sign suggestive of anything, delineation of a thing, representation, figure, copy, and an example for imitation of the thing to be imitated, for a warning of a thing to be shunned. And then down there it says example, pattern, and sample.
Now let's go back to Peter's again.
2 Peter 2 and 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly.
Yeah, so there's no excuse for you now. You passed that law. You said it was all right to be a homosexual, a lesbian, and get married. And then you're gonna pass laws where if certain churches don't want to marry them, you're gonna sue. You're gonna fine those churches. So two men can come into a church and they can open up the Bible, and the Bible condemns homosexuality. So this man is truly a devil, man. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great. All right, you read that out? Okay, now we're in Luke 16.
Luke 16 and 27. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
This is the rich man in hell. This is a parable. So he's buried in hell, and he sees Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham, and he asks that, could you take your finger and dip it in water and put it in my mouth so I can taste water, so it can give me some relief from this fire. All right. So he's saying that, and then also he's saying on top of that, he's saying he's thinking about his brothers in the land of the living, let's say, and he's asking Abraham or the Most High, could you send a spirit? Now, let the scripture speak.
It says, then he said, I pray thee therefore. thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them.
Because he knew that his 5 brethren, they're going to go to the same damn place, which is hell. Like I said, this is a parable. Now, the hell is really talking about slavery. Because we're going to make it where they're going to be wishing for a drip of water to be in. Because they're going to be drinking a lot of water, man. Okay? You ain't going to be drinking a lot of damn water. You're going to be working in that hot-ass sun, too. So he sees how his brothers are. His 5 brothers are just like him. And he knows that they're going to all wind up in the same place. So he's asking that a spirit in the form of Abraham or any spirit come and say, look, get yourself. Like they made a novel which became a movie. What's this guy, Hans Christian Andersen? Did he write that? Which is the Christmas Carol? Is that Hans Christian Andersen that wrote it? Or Dickens? It was Charles Dickens, and basically there's this one guy, I forget his name. You read it as a child, and you watch it in movies and stuff, and I think Scrooge was his name. And anyway, every so many years they remake it, all right? And basically he was wicked as hell, and the 3 spirits came to him and basically showed him, look, the last spirit that came in and said, look, if you don't get yourself right, you're going to wind up in fire. So basically, Charles Dickens most likely got that from this story right here. And it always had an Edomite play the part of Ebenezer Scrooge, which is a so-called Jew. Right, a so-called Jew. So they're telling you, you better get yourself together. But they're not going to get themselves together. Because let's read on.
It says, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto
He said that because he knew how they were wickeder than him. Go ahead.
Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them.
So I say the same thing with New York passing this law, and America, the spirit of America, are passing this law, which is Massachusetts, and all these other states that the federal government in agreement with this law. You have Moses and the prophets. You have the scriptures. So there's no excuse. So when this destruction come on you, you can't say, well, I didn't know. You already knew. And then if you didn't understand the scriptures, we're out there on the highways and the byways condemning your ass. And then you stop us from pushing this word out, pushing this truth out. So when this society goes down, you're going to go down hard. And the whole world's going to know it. And we're going to read about it, continue to read about it in Revelation 18. The whole world is going to know about it. Go ahead.
And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Yeah, so if a spirit came back from the dead, they ain't going to listen to that spirit. So if they don't listen to that spirit that's going to come back from the dead, they're not going to follow the scriptures. It tells you a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. Go ahead.
Back in Revelation 18:7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall the plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong,
and that fire is that nuclear destruction, that mushroom cloud. Go ahead.
For strong is the Lord power who judged her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all the ironwood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Right, so you had slavery in a society. You traded vehicles. You exported vehicles all around the world and perfumes, many things. Go ahead.
It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants also of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches and for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company.
Yeah, the 1 hour is only going to take 1 hour when those missiles, ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, come from one continent to the other continent, which is America, Babylon, and release those multiple warheads. That's it for you. Give me the book of Revelation, the 9th chapter, and start at the 13th verse.
Revelation chapter 9, verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
Yeah, because all this whole third world war that's going to take place is going to be focused in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Go ahead.
And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Now you notice it said an hour, right? Now let's go back to where we left off.
It says,
and the third part of men represent you Edomites. Go ahead.
Revelation 18:17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships.
Because a lot of people became rich because of America. Go ahead.
Alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven.
You got these pastors and these ministers. They'll read the script. Well, they rarely go into the book of Revelation because they don't understand it. But the ones that think they understand it, they go into it and they still don't understand it. Go ahead.
Rejoice over her, thou heaven.
See, they don't understand that when you read these scriptures, you find out who's who or what's what according to a process of elimination. You read about Babylon in the book of Revelation, and the first thing should pop into your head, ancient Babylon. But you say, well, ancient Babylon is destroyed. So it can't be talking about ancient Babylon. Then you might say, well, wait a minute, it's got to be talking about our current day Iraq, because that's where Babylon was geographically. But you say, well, wait a minute, the United States is in there. They got rid of the leader, which was Saddam Hussein, but there was no fire. They didn't totally destroy this place. Now, when you go and read the scriptures about Babylon, it tells you that Babylon was utterly wasted, utterly destroyed, utterly burnt, and that didn't happen to Iraq. All right? So you keep searching in your mind, and then you have to come to the conclusion that it has to be America. And there's a few people out there that know that. One, for example, is Stan Johnson, which he read off about maybe eight scriptures, mainly from the book of Jeremiah, the book of Revelation, Isaiah, and he said all these scriptures that I mentioned refer to America. Now, where did he get that from? We believe he got it from us. Whether he got it from us or not, he was correct in what he was saying when he brought out those scriptures. And you notice they're not bringing Stan Johnson on the news, because these people don't take this seriously, man. You got a lot of these people in this society, these Edomites and Jake, that don't believe in the Most High, and they think the Bible is a fairy tale. And blueprint of the Most High, how the Most High is going to take you out, and it's right there for you. The blueprint is right there for you to read. You can get this book for free, but you got to understand it. The Spirit's got to work with you. That's why it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse. It speaks of the Lord coming as a thief in the night, because you're not going to have any clue as to when the Most High is coming. You don't even think the Most High is coming. And the ones of you that think the Most High is coming, you Edomites, you think that the Lord's coming for you. Go ahead.
It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. For the most...
Who are the holy apostles and prophets? The Israelites. Esau ain't in that. Go ahead.
It says, for the Most High hath avenged you on her, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone.
Oh, look up the word avenge. What verse is that? Verse 20.
Yeah, the Greek word there is krima, which means a decree, judgment, condemnation of wrong, the decision, whether severe or mild, which one passes on the faults of others. In a forensic sense, the sentence of a judge, the punishment with which one is sentenced, condemnatory sentence, penal judgment, sentence, a matter to be judicially decided, a law, a case in court.
Yeah, so we're basically the prosecutors, you can say, and we're condemning you. So now you've been condemned. Now you're going to have the sentence brought on you. You're guilty of this. You're guilty of taking the Israelites from one country to another country. You're guilty of putting the Israelites into captivity. You're guilty of causing certain Israelites to be homosexuals. You're guilty of teaching them these lies. You're guilty of teaching them that they're Negroes, colored, African American, black. You know, you're guilty of a lot of things. So these charges are brought against you, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. The charges are overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. You're committing these crimes as we condemning you. You're still committing crime. So now we're at the sentencing stage. And the sentence is what? Thermonuclear destruction, the total destruction and annihilation of Babylon the Great, which you refer to as America, and you going into captivity, and then that's not it. After the captivity, you're going to be exterminated. You're going to be gathered together, and you're going to be exterminated. I don't give a damn what Uncle Ruckus says. I don't give a damn what False Prophet 666 says. I don't give a damn what Abu says with his madness. You don't see him no more because he's been defeated. You notice you don't see this guy Comfy no more because he's been defeated. General Gehenna, you're about to be defeated. All you scholars out there, you're getting ready to be defeated. Go ahead.
This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Yeah, so from this point on, when they pass this law that you can be a homosexual and get married, the Most High he gonna turn up the fire now. He gonna put the fire up on your ass. From this point on, all hell is gonna come upon you, man. Let's go back.
Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
So America's going to be thrown down in a violent manner. Go ahead.
And shall be found no more at all.
So it's not going to come back up. Go ahead.
And the voice of harpers and musicians and pipers and of trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found.
Yeah, you ain't going to have American Idol and America's Got Talent and all these stupid shows, the stupid silly ass entertainment. Jersey Shore. Go ahead.
Shall be found no more at all in thee. No more in thee, no any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard.
Yeah, that's another big thing. You got all these stupid ass bride shows. You got this one bride show where you got these rotund hoes, big motherfucking 500-pound women, talking about they want to get the right damn dress. I don't like the wedding dress that this one store gave me because it looked like a sheet. That's the only thing that can fit your ass. Is a motherfucking sheet. You know? So you go to this specialist where they make you look as pretty as hell, but you look like a big elephant with a fucking a wedding dress on. There's one I was from the channel. They had this one big rotund black bitch talking about I don't like that other dress. And I went to the store. It looked like pillowcases. Bitch, you needed a damn. You know how you put a tent over a car? You know how you put that play? That's what you need, bitch. You need like 3 of them over your ass. This is a damn shame, man. All these stupid bridezilla, all these stupid wedding shows, man. And none of you are virgins. And all of you are a bunch of damn nasty ass hoes, man. And you waste all that money on one fucking day, man. You self-centered pieces of shit. Go ahead.
It says,
like that bitch Casey Anthony. It's overwhelming that the bitch killed the daughter, man. But they're trying to keep that white girl from being exterminated, not executed. Executed. But what they should do, they should find her ass guilty. They should sentence her to death, and they should do it quick. But they should get one of them electric chairs or build one and fucking electrocute her ass on a chair and put that shit on pay-per-view. I'll pay $50 to see that shit. I'll pay $50 to see that. You know how many people watch that? See that bitch, that pasty white bitch, be put in the fucking electric chair, you know, and have some crazy looking motherfucker pull that switch down and see her ass shake, rattle, and roll, man. I'll pay $100 if you put it on pay-per-view. I'll pay $100, man, to see that. I have all my brothers together. We'll have them wines and beers and stuff, you know. And we'll be all at the edge of our seats waiting for your ass to fry. But that's the same thing with the rest of you. You all gonna fry. The Most High is preparing that electric chair for this society right here. You're gonna fry on that day. You're gonna get charred broiled. Go ahead.
It says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth.
Yeah, because that's what we are in the Americas. The people of the Lord, the chosen, the elect of the Most High, the chosen of the Most High. Is that it? All right, now let's go to the next chapter 19.
Revelation 19:1. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven, saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our power.
So America was destroyed. The movie keeps going for John, the Revelator, John the Divine on the Isle of Patmos. So now he sees who's going to rejoice. We're going to rejoice. Go ahead.
It says, for true and righteous are the judgment, are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication.
And that's what you're guilty of that. Anytime there's something that takes place on the planet Earth, like in the Middle East, it all point your fingers back to America. That situation in Greece, the reason why that happened, because that goes back to the bankers of America. Go ahead.
It says, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and how the
part of your corruption is saying it's all right to be a homosexual. That's why in Tel Aviv, Pink City, and in the land of Israel, that's going to be destroyed too. That's going to be wiped off the globe too. Because what do you have over there? You have one of the biggest gay parades on the planet Earth, which is in Tel Aviv, also known as Pink City. And then you have the Republicans and the Democrats, whether they be congressmen, senators, presidents, they have no problem sending aid to Israel. So they're all part, Republicans and Democrats, it's all the same circus. Go ahead.
And hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. Excuse me. And again they said, Hallelujah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. And the 24 elders and the 4 beasts fell down and worshipped the Most High that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, Hallelujah. And a voice came out of the throne, saying, Praise our power, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. And I heard, as it were, the voice of a great multitude, and as a voice of many waters, and as a voice of mighty thunderings, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord power omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
And the wife are the children of Israel, not no group of Edomites. It's only referring to the children of Israel. Another thing, bubble-eyed blackfish, you notice you don't see him too much because he got totally exposed. All these phony niggas that took that Judas purse, they all got exposed. And then all the GMS camps out there, all those brothers are sharp as a damn razor, man. So if we don't see it, another camp is going to see it. And we're going to get, and that's what we do, man. We're like the sentinels, man. We see something that's wicked, and we jump right on it, man. Go ahead.
It says, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he saith unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, These are the true sayings of the Most High. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua.
Right, this was an angel that said that. John went down to bow down to the angel, and the angel said, No, get back. I'm a fellow servant of yours. Go from there. Give me the book of Colossians, the 2nd chapter, Colossians, and I believe it's the 16th verse. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahushua. Let no man beguile you of your reward, and of voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, intruding into those things which he hath not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
Yeah, so in other words, that's talking about you're not supposed to worship angels. That's why the angel told John to get back up. You're not supposed to be worshiping angels. Now this guy, what's his name, Zabak, all right? He put a video out saying, oh, we don't know the Hebrew. Well, you stupid ass, when you put that video up, you were praising angels, man. That shows you that the Lord ain't working with you.
Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Kusham, Shema, Nawa, Haitha, Shalat, Magala, La, Barak.
And you're another one that the Most High is going to destroy. You're not a man of the Lord. You're not a part of the elect. You're part of the 2/3, all right, that's going to get it too. Right along with General Gehenna and the rest of those demons. Go ahead.
It says, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
That's the same white horse in Revelation, the 6th chapter, which Yahushua is going to be riding on. And it's not an actual horse. It's talking about the ships, because when the Lord comes back, he's coming back in a chariot that's so big. Ezra saw it and recorded it in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. He said the chariot was so big that it looked like a mountain. Go ahead.
It says, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written.
And the many crowns is talking about all these kingdoms that he's going to take down. Go ahead.
And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High.
Now, what does it mean he was clothed in a vesture dipped in blood? That's talking about, when you go to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, it tells you about that. How he's going to, let's go to that, man, because I like that scripture. Matter of fact, I love that scripture. That's one of my favorite scriptures. He's going to compare them to grapes. Go ahead.
Stomp him. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Now this verse right here, Isaiah the 63rd chapter, go hand in hand with what we're reading in Revelation the 19th chapter. Go ahead.
Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?
Now let's go back to the point in Revelation 19 about the garment.
It says, verse 13, Revelation 19:13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
Now let's find out why he was clothed in a vesture dipped in blood. Go back to Isaiah.
It says, who is this, Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance.
So when the Lord come back and get you Edomites, he's going to get down. He's going to get passionate. The angels are going to get passionate. We're going to get passionate. Because it tells you in Malachi, was that 5 and 7 on down, it says we're going to actually pull the limbs off your damn body. We're going to screw off the tops of your motherfucking head. We're going to get nasty on that day. We're going to get down and dirty on that day. Go ahead. Like they got this series with this cracker called Dirty Jobs. Well, if he comes out with a camera to film the job that we're going to be doing, he's going to be part of the job. We're going to screw his goddamn head off, man. Go ahead.
It says, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was...
Oh, and the year of my redeemed has come. So is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year? Is it going to be the year after that? But we know it's close. Could it be 2012, maybe? It'd be nice if it was the end of 2011. But if it's 2012, I'll deal with that too. But we know it's close. 2011, 2012, possibly 2013, we don't know. But we know it's close. It's right there at the door. Go ahead.
And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me. And my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger. And
what people? What people? Esau. Go ahead.
And I will bring down their strength to the earth.
What is their strength? Their military. Because the first thing that he's gonna do is fight against that military. Because this devil gonna try to stop the so-called aliens from attacking, and he's gonna find out that them aliens is a Lord himself and the angels.
Jets that were chasing that chariot.
That's right. There's a video out there. It was, I think, 2 or 3 jets that was trying to chase this chariot, and the chariot was playing with the 3 jets or the 2 jets. They're gonna have a it's gonna be like they're gonna have a field day with you, man. Go ahead.
It says, and I will tread down the people in mine anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. All right, back in Revelation 19 and 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word. Be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
The dead is talking about Israel. The we that shall be changed is talking about Israel. Go ahead.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
So we're going to be supermen and superwomen. Read that again and give me that in the blue letter, Art.
1 Corinthians 15:53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Look up the word incorruptible, and look up the word immortality. I mean, if you want, you can look up corrupt too, and mortal.
Yeah, the Greek word for corruptible.
Strong's G 5349. Thartos. Thartos.
Which means corruptible, perishing. That's all they have there, and pretty much they have the same thing down here. So go to the next word. The next word, incorruption.
Strong's G 861. Aphtharsia. Aphtharsia.
That's the word incorruption, meaning incorruption, perpetuity, purity, sincerity, incorrupt. Pretty much the same thing down here. So go to the next word. Immortality. That's the next word, right?
Strong's G 110. Athanasia. Athanasia.
Which means undying, immortality, everlasting. Yeah, that's pretty much it they have here.
Read on.
It says, for this corruptible, 1 Corinthians 15:53, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
And that only applies to the Israelites, because we're going to have superhuman, extraterrestrial, angelic type bodies. Go ahead.
O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushai. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
And that's what we've been doing, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Go ahead.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Your labor is not in vain with the Lord. So when we go out there and teach His word and do what we do, this is a labor, all right? Now, where do we leave off in Revelation?
Revelation 20, verse 6.
Okay, so you know what? Next week we're going to continue with verse 6 of Revelation, the 20th chapter. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.